Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time. I've never done a get ready with me video, mostly because it's very rare that I get ready past brushing my teeth and washing my face. So I got a haircut yesterday and I thought, okay, I finished at the salon, came home, and I still need to like pick it out and get it to the place that I want to, make sure my curls are getting to that full volume. So I thought, well, we can try one of these get ready with me videos for the first time and also just kind of give you an update, if you care. And yeah, so I'm gonna start with brushing my teeth, honestly. Hold on though. I got this really cute, this is actually something I got on my first Temu haul, which I have a video linked somewhere. And I've really liked it. I'm actually going to be using this last brush head, so I'm gonna need a new one, maybe. All right, all good to go. So I'm gonna brush my teeth and then we'll get to the getting ready part. All set with brushing teeth. Now I'm going to wash my face. I don't often wear makeup. Honestly, it takes me a lot more time. I'm not great at it. Like, people say it looks good, but I don't really know what I'm doing. But one of the things is I've actually come to really like my skin. I think I have pretty good skin. I do have some old acne scarring and I still have a few trouble areas down here that I'm working on. It is getting better. So every once in a while, if I'm not feeling fully confident in my own skin, I will wear some makeup. But I'm feeling pretty confident today in my skin. I just feel like wearing makeup today. I don't know how many years, I want to say between 3 to 5 years, I've been using custom hair care products through Pros. If you're interested in learning more about that, I will put a link down in the description. It's a link that I have shared before. Some people have used it, and everything they do is custom. So you'll take a quiz and they will send you custom hair care products. I don't know how long ago it was, but they started doing like face wash, face care. I don't know why I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, I decided to give it a shot because they had kind of like an intro offer, and I thought, well, for that, I'll give it a shot. I really love my skin, to be honest. I do have some hyperpigmentation issues. I have some issues on my chin, which were getting better. So I thought, you know what, let's try it out. Previously, I was using this, which I love. Is it Tony Moly? And honestly, it was really great. It was a great exfoliator. Actually, I don't think this was just a foam cleanser. This was a really great foam cleanser. And I would use e.l.f. skin products for any kind of exfoliation or hydration. So I had a serum with that. And then my go-to exfoliant, exfoliating toner, which I still use, is the Ordinary. So I kind of had a mishmash of of things that I'd kind of been using over the course of the last 4 to 5 years, and it worked okay. So I thought, why not give this a go? And I'm gonna be honest, the first couple of weeks, I actually had really bad breakout, a really, really bad breakout, to the point where I reached out to customer service and said, I want my money back, it's not working. And, you know, they said, hey, it does take time, with new products, sometimes your body needs to adjust to them. So I thought I will go another 2 weeks. I still had time in that 30-day trial offer. And honestly, I forgot to finish the return, and they shipped me the next shipment. But by that point, I had started to see a difference. I want to say the major difference is just I'm not having as many like little acne breakouts, which were still common. I'm 34, but they were still common for me. And I've been looking into my food and hormones and all those different things as well. But I've noticed significantly fewer breakouts. I've noticed just more glow to my skin, I guess. Very moisturizing. It smells amazing. All of the ingredients are natural and it's custom to me. So I took same kind of quiz just for my face that I did for my hair. And this is the Cleanse and Exfoliate guy. I use this, but you'll see like it tells me, you know, use 2 to 3 pumps into wet skin and rinse AM and PM. It's got niacinamide in it, amino acids in it. Really great. It smells great. So we'll start right there. I use this little guy. I found that at the thrift store, so nothing special about it, but I kind of use this to exfoliate. So just kind of dab dry, as the experts say to do. Grab some water. So after I wash, this says that it also exfoliates, but I like to get I work out in the mornings, and so I want to get all of that extra dirt from sweating, all that kind of stuff. So like I said earlier, I use, what is this called? Exfoliating Cleanser by The Ordinary. Love it. You can get this at your Ulta. I really like The Ordinary. There's actually a lot of products that I've used in the past. Very good with my budget. So yeah, now I just kind of go through, make sure I'm getting any, they say to stay away from your eyes, but I get pretty close, so, you know, I don't really do anything according to what they say anyway, so why start now? Since I have a lot of issues down here, I try to really make sure I get this clean. So yeah, a little bit, got a little bit there. All right, the next step is this custom serum. It has hyaluronic acid, red fungi. Its goal, the skin goals, is to purify and firm. And I will say, I really like this. It's a little, some of the serums that I've used in the past, I really, really like because they're a little bit more oily. Whether that's good or bad, I just like that feeling. It makes me feel like something's happening, which doesn't necessarily mean anything's happening. This one is a little more, it kind of feels, at first it feels a little sticky, but it really soaks in nice, and I've noticed a difference. I think this is honestly one of the biggest things that has made a difference of my face feeling very glowy and full. So pat 2 to 3 drops onto clean, dry skin, AM and PM. Yeah, it just comes in a little dropper like this. I get just a little bit, in case you're interested. That's what it looks like. I don't have like a hardcore texture thing, but sometimes certain textures just kind of like freak me out. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't love this texture, but it soaks in pretty quickly. And then finally, I have my custom moisturizer. I'm really big on moisturizing. I love lotion. I'm a big cocoa butter girl. Like, I do not like being ashy. I do not like feeling dry skin at all. I can't stand it. And this moisturizer has been really, really great. Looks like the key ingredients in this are red fungi and red algae. The skin goals are nourish and mattify, whatever that means. So kind of just looks like that. And it smells great. But I just take a couple of, oh, actually that's my new one. I don't want to open that one yet. Here we go. This is the one that's been used. So I use about that much. And they say to move upward. So that's what I do for the most part. I also do a little bit of, I guess it's considered face yoga while I do this. Just kind of give myself a little bit of a massage while I'm doing this. Feels good. Especially along here where the lymph nodes are, just a little. Whether it does something or not, who knows, but it feels good. Draining of the lymph nodes. Ugh. Oh, it just feels wonderful. There's that. So, what are we gonna do next? Normally, I let that sit a little bit before doing my makeup, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on my hair. Man. You know what, we'll do the hair first. It's been over a year that I had last got my haircut. There's this amazing salon here in Tulsa. It's called the Siren Curl Studio, I believe. And my girl Jewel hooks me up. She's great. It started off as a salon specifically for curly girlies, which if you have really, really curly or coily hair, especially if you're like me and you have mixed hair, then you know how difficult it can be to find a stylist who really understands your hair needs, because they're very unique. Everybody's hair is different, but especially if your hair is like coily and curly or mixed, it's difficult. It's difficult. So I hadn't had a cut in over a year, other than a couple of times that I tried to trim my own hair, and my split ends were about 2 inches long. So I wanted to go for this style. I will put it somewhere here. And I just was in the mood for bangs. I was in the mood for bangs. So it ended up being a little bit shorter than I would have probably liked. This is not because she made a mistake. It was because I knew that I needed to really clean up the edges. Normally I do my makeup first, but I might have to use this spray bottle, so I don't want to make a mess. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. See if I can't break up some of these curls a little bit. It's a little shorter. Like my hair was like down to here. So I really didn't want to cut off the length, but at the same time, I also knew that it was time. Like I wasn't gonna be able to have healthy hair without it. So we just went ahead and chopped. I mean, there were some places that I feel like she took off 2 inches. But I'll just have to get used to it. It's fine. So I am liking how this is coming out. I do like bangs. The only thing is I like to have bangs where I can push them out of my way in case I decide one day that I don't like the way I look with bangs, which happens fairly often. I change my mind a decent bit. Yeah, I can tell that my hair is just so much healthier after that cut. Like I said, I'm going for length. Like eventually I want my hair to be way, way down here. But something I learned the hard way is in order to get there, sometimes you've got to, you know, you got to trim off a couple inches to get your hair back to that healthy place so it can really actually grow. And unfortunately, the last year, we've been okay, but it just hasn't been in the budget for me to be able to go and get a really great haircut. So I did what I could at home. My haircut did well, held up for about 6 months, which shows you how great of a haircut it is, right? But even after 6 months, you know, it needed some love, but really, I just got it done yesterday in February. And the last time I had gotten was December 2022, right before 2023. So long time, a really long time. And I could tell. So I lost a lot of length, but at the same time, my hair is coiling very, very tightly because it's happy and healthy now. All of those dead ends are gone. And it feels super soft and just wonderful in general. I'm starting to like this. I'm starting to like the volume that's coming in. Pros also sent me this free gift. Every once in a while, they will send free gifts like that, and I love it. I love free gifts. It's feeling better. I think still it's a little weighted down because we did a moisturizing treatment yesterday, but I'm happy with where this is going. I think it's really cute. It feels, again, I'm missing a little bit of my length. I miss it, but at the same time, I'm very happy with this. It feels better. It feels better. I feel like I can wear it up cute, kind of like this if I want, or I can pull it back still and pin my bangs back, but I'm pretty happy with it. So now that we got this far, we are going to work on the makeup. All right, so now we're to the part where we're gonna actually do some chatting. I don't know about you, but I actually really love the new year. I love the new year. It feels like a lot of possibilities. I just love the freshness of it. But inevitably, every new year, every January that rolls around, my body just kind of is like, I'm gonna be out for a month. And that happened again this year. I think it was August of last year that I went through a pretty severe depressive wave. Was not expecting it, kind of hit me by surprise, and realized there were just some things that I didn't realize I needed to address that I did. But that lasted through November, October, November. I started coming out of it, especially in November. December was really low key for us. Normally we do family stuff, and Daryl couldn't get off work, and neither of our families could travel to us. And so it was actually a really low key December. But I've been trying to figure out why January was so exhausting for me, why I basically laid in bed for the first week. Well, I was sick for the first week, but the first month of this year was just rough. I was trying to figure out why, trying to pinpoint potentially. And I think maybe what happened was I hit this really intense depressive wave and was coming out of it. And then December, there's always a million things to do. Luckily for us, it was pretty low key, but still there was like a million things to do, just a lot going on. And by the time January hit, I think my body was just, it was just kind of done. It was just kind of done. I participated in NaNoWriMo. I wrote half of my second book. I'm 2 chapters away from finishing my first book. But that was very life-giving for me, but it was also a challenge. Like, it's a challenge. It's called a challenge for a reason, because it pushes you. And I think I just kind of got super exhausted, and I needed January to be like, just not have any kind of expectations for myself. And I think I realized that that's probably how it's going to go for me for the rest of my life. I've never been this person, but I don't think I'm ever going to be that January comes and I'm just going to be hitting those goals super hard. I don't think I'm going to be that person. I've never been that person. I think after the holidays, I always have a bit of a emotional hangover, if you will. It's like, oh, I made it through another year. Yay, I'm happy. And also, I want to process that. And then as I'm processing the year, I'm just exhausted. Anybody else? The beginning of this year also came with a lot of good news. When you've been in a place where it's been difficult for a really long time, I think good news can be just as difficult to process as bad news. I think because you get so used to getting bad news that when things start changing in your favor, I think it's just a hard switch because you've gotten used to surviving. So when it's time to, for lack of a better term, when it's time to thrive, I think your brain just, it doesn't come along as quickly as you would like it to. So for us, our financial situation changed basically overnight. I got a raise. We were able to pay off our debt. So like financially, things changed for us overnight. But it's been almost 10 years of just uphill battles, not only in the finances. I think the finances are the very obvious thing that we struggled with, right? But we've had a lot of heartbreak. We've had a lot of disappointments, a lot of failure. Not as a couple. Our relationship is great. Our relationship has always been kind of a very solid ground for me to come back to, and I'm very thankful for that. But financially was kind of the main thing that kind of got in the way of a lot of other progress to be made. So when that changed, basically within a week, it went from, hey, things are really tight, like things, you're making progress, but it's slow and you know, you'll get there, to, hey, now you're debt free and you also got a raise. Life significantly shifted for us. But my brain had a hard time coming along with that. I still am processing that. That happened early January. It's February 16th. We're halfway through January or February. My goodness. And I'm still struggling to process that. It's getting better. I'm very grateful, very thankful, but I still go to the grocery store and start calculating, oh, I don't know, should I go ahead and get the can that's, you know, $1 instead of $1.15 to save that extra 15 cents. I'm kind of still in that mindset when I don't really have to be. Now I've always been a thrifter. I'm always going to be a thrifter. I always want to find a good deal. But there is a scarcity mindset that goes with that, where I'm constantly, you know, I was constantly having to penny pinch, and a lot of it was just praying and hoping for the best, you know, planning, but also preparing for the worst. And that's not the case anymore. And it's been difficult to shift. So all of that put together, just really had a hard time getting going. But I'm also of the mindset that I don't need to hustle. I don't need to hurry. Other than being healthy mentally, physically, relationally, like I have goals, but like those are the things that are most important to me. And I'm doing that, you know, I'm doing that. And so if that means I'm a little, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? If it means I'm just a little behind, air quotes, on getting going on my year and really knowing what my goals are in front of me and having that vision board, obviously I think those things are important, and those are things that I definitely incorporate into my life. At the same time, I've kind of had an attitude of like, I will get to it when I get to it. There are people who are very much like, I'm no bad days. I'm gonna show up no matter what. I don't care how tired I am. I don't care how emotionally exhausted I am. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show up. If that is for you, go for it. I have learned that is very dangerous for me, and I have to listen to my mind, my body, spiritually. There are times where God will just straight up tell me, like, you need to sit down. Like, you need to chill. And in the past, I didn't listen as much, but I do now, because I realize if I don't listen, I'm going to end up flat on my butt. I'm going to end up flat on my butt, and I'm gonna be set back. So I'd rather go slow and get there slower at a good pace than burn out on the way. So that's been a lot of the beginning of this year for me. Has felt very slow. And I had all of these ideas. I had all of these ideas for this channel. I had all this stuff that I was going to record. And honestly, I got sick the first week of January, like really, really sick. I was in bed for a straight week. And it probably took me another week to really recover from that. And then the third and fourth week, I was trying to like mentally and emotionally like, okay, I'm feeling behind. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. My house is a mess. I haven't gotten to the things that I need to get to. So then I'm playing a little bit of catch up. By the time February hit, I was like, okay, maybe I'm ready to start 2024. Maybe. And even then, it's been a little bit of like, this is the first video this morning coming from the gym. This is the first time that I've been like, I think I want to like film a video, and I don't even know what I want to talk about, but I think I'm ready to kind of start being more determined, taking a determined focus, having more of a specific plan. And it feels good. And I'm glad I didn't push myself. I'm glad I didn't push myself. I mean, I did, but I'm glad I didn't push myself to the point of what I thought I should be doing, right? When I look around and I see all of these people, this is what I'm doing. These are my hardcore goals. Good for you. Good on you, mate. But I need a little more time, and I'm glad I took it. Maybe that makes me lazy. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Nor do I care. Also, side note, most of the time I have no idea what I'm doing. I just kind of grab stuff and put it together and then blend it all together, and I hope in the end it turns out to something that I'm mildly happy with. Mildly. But for the most part, I get compliments, so nobody will be calling me for makeup advice, but nobody's saying I look like a clown. So I guess we're winning on some level. I do have some hopes for this year. I have things that I would like to accomplish. I definitely want to get my YouTube channel monetized. And I think that's why at first I was feeling really discouraged, because on a practical level, not being consistent on here, not being consistent in posting on a regular schedule, it's kind of one of the things that you need to do to have a successful channel, right? And so I was kind of beating myself up, and I just realized I'm going to do this my way. And that means if it's a lot slower, I'm okay with that. If it's not as successful as other people, whatever success might look like for them, that's fine. For me, my goals are, I do want my video content to get better. I'm getting better at kind of riffing like this. Still not my strong suit because I'm a rambler, but I want to get better at that. I want to encourage people. I hope that my videos are something that are encouraging for others, that inspires you to pick up another project or pick up one that you've forgotten about, or something you thought you could never do, and do it for yourself. Like, maybe it's not for money. Maybe you literally do that project and like you and your family are the only ones that know about it. Or maybe it's not your family. Maybe it's friends or your niece or your nephew, whatever it is. I want to create videos and content that do that. And I want to have fun. Those are my goals. And yes, I would like to be monetized. So that is a goal, but I think in the level of priorities, that is the bottom one. But all the other ones I can do. And that's what I'm working on. So if that means that I'm not as consistent, which I'm going to start being more consistent, I'm setting up some parameters for myself. My husband helped me with that. It's easy for me, especially as a multi-passionate, to say I don't need any kind of structure. I'm a free bird. That's actually more dangerous for me. And I have found for most creatives, especially multi-passionates, that's also true. What you are rejecting is traditional time management and organizational tools. I 100% do not like traditional time management and organizational tools because they are created by already organized A-type personality people for already organized type A personality people, generally speaking. I am neither of those things. I am neither of those things. I thrive in a little bit of organized-ish chaos. That's where I thrive. I don't want everything to look neat and pristine. I do like things to be put together. I like to be able to find things, but I don't need everything to be spick span. I'm not a minimalist. Think it's beautiful, wish I could be one, but I'm not. So I created a little bit more of structure around creating these videos, filming some videos, and that will be helpful. So I'm working toward being a little bit more consistent on here again. For a while there it was about once a week, and then January. But that's okay. That is okay. This is the part of the morning where I find out how off are the wings going to be. Every time. Every freaking time. You would think I would come up with a better solution, but it ain't gonna happen. You can send me all of your suggestions. I probably won't do it because it would take me more time. How off are we today? Not terrible. A little bit, but not terrible. Not terrible. We'll take it. Part of the problem is I have keratoconus in my left eye. Basically, there are spots in my, not spots in my vision, but spots in my, weak spots in my cornea, on the cornea, whatever, that make my vision blurry. So when I'm looking at it, so like when I'm looking at this one's significantly blurrier, but when I do this, I can see pretty well. So they're never the same because this eye is always like, what's going on? I digress. This video is for you if you're feeling the same. If you're feeling just like, hey, I had all of these aspirations, I had all of these things that I wanted to do this year, and I feel like we're coming to the end of February and I haven't even started. Cool, start tomorrow. Start in March. Start today. I think we tell ourselves we can't start new things, you know, unless it's a Monday or unless it's this. And I mean, like, if you really need that, go for it. But I think there's this idea that, well, I've got to start on a Monday, or I've got to start at this time, or I've got to start at the beginning of the month, or I've got to start at this point. You can start whenever you want. You can start whenever you want. I often start new rhythms, new routines on Wednesdays, just because I know that Monday is usually a day for me that's, especially at work now, Monday is usually a day for me that's fairly busy. It's fairly busy because I'm getting all of the emails from the weekend. I have to make sure that everything is ready to go. I have a lot of things to do on Monday. Tuesdays, I'm usually anything that if Mondays are really busy, spill over into Tuesday. So Wednesday is usually a prime day for me. It's a prime day for me. I love starting things on Wednesdays. I just do. You can start whenever you want. It doesn't have to be this magical thing. You know, there's nothing magical about January 1st. There's nothing magical about Monday. For some people, it might feel magical, right? Like Mondays might feel like, yes, I love Mondays because I just feel like, yes, it's the beginning of the week and I just feel so full of energy. Then fine, go with it. But for some of us, like, we are waiting for Monday to somehow, Monday or the beginning of the month or beginning of the year, to somehow kickstart some internal engine. And the truth is, you know how you kickstart that engine? You just start. You just start, you just go, you do your best. That's how it works. We're gonna take a short pause because it's giving absolutely I chose well. I chose well. But I just want to take a moment to think about, you know, sometimes I regret, I'm like, yes, I want bangs. And then immediately I'm like, why did I do that? But I would like to take this moment to thank my past self for telling her to chop them. And thank you, Jewel, for doing such a wonderful job. Look at that. It's complete to look. If you've stayed this long, what I want you to know is most important is that you can start whenever you want. If it's been a really rough start to the year for any reason, for me, it's not anything bad. It's actually good, but everything shifted for me, and I'm having to live in this new reality that things are okay. Things are okay and not everything is falling apart. And that has been hard. I'm shifting from, hey, I just survived a depressive wave, and then also everything that you've been praying for breakthrough in the last 10 years just happened. It's like, okay, let's take a moment for that. Let's take a moment for that. It could be something good, it could be something bad, but maybe like January's just flew by and February is halfway done and you're thinking, I've missed my opportunity. I'll try again next year. Don't do that. You can start whenever you want. Heck, in December, you can start something in December. You can start something in October. Whatever it is, you can start the year whenever you want. Whenever you want. Don't tell yourself that you don't need any structure. You'll figure it out. Because the truth is you won't. You do need some kind of structure. You got to figure out what that structure looks like for you. I have a few options if that's something that you need some direction on. What I use as a creative who's very all over the place, shiny object syndrome, I pivot often. Like, if you need something like that, please reach out, let me know. I would love to help you out on that. But get you some basic structure. Start small. If you're like, I don't know how to do this, take your goal, half it, and then half it again. Okay, like make it absolutely minuscule and start getting into the rhythm. So for example, I'm writing a book right now, 2 books right now. I have 2 chapters left, and it's been really, really hard to finish this one because I'm so close and life has been a little bit chaotic and busy. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try to get 10 minutes in every day. I have not been able to do that every day, but I'm building up to it, and eventually it'll be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes it'll be an hour, sometimes it'll be 45 minutes, sometimes it'll be 3 hours, sometimes it'll be 5 minutes. Whatever it is, I'm just trying to get myself in the rhythm of doing it and just showing up for my creative process. You can do the same thing. Start whenever, put a little bit of structure in there, however you need it to look, but start today, start tomorrow, but don't worry if you've missed January. Don't worry if January like flew by you. Don't worry if the first 2 weeks of February has flown by you. You have all the time in the world. You can start now. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I rambled on, but hopefully it was something a little bit different that you enjoyed, and you'll start seeing more videos from Moa, and I will see you next time. Bye, friend.